In today's video, I'll talk about the newest Prebuilt gaming PC from HP, the Omen 45L, and I'm going to compare it to previous versions of this Omen and see if it's worth a buy or not. We will have the link to these PCs and a lot of PCs in case you have a different budget down below in the description, and you have as well my video about the best overall Prebuilt PCs of this month in the top right of the screen. And if you want to see more content like this one, please leave a like and subscribe, but most importantly hit the bell button so you get notified when I upload this type of content. And with that being said, let's start with the video. So first, I'll talk about the specifications for this model that's $2,000, that is the GT220450T. Now if you don't know anything about gaming PCs, you may want to skip this part, but I think it's important for you to see it because I'll explain how to get this PC better and why it's not worth it buying it like this. So for the CPU, we have the i7-12700K with a CPU liquid cooler, so that is actually great for the price. You also get 16 gigs of RAM 2x8 at 38,000 MHz, also great for the price. Then you get 500 gigs of SSD, which of course you will have to upgrade, but I will talk about the upgrades in a little bit. And then for the GPU, you get the RTX 3060, and this is where I say why it's not worth it buying it like this. You're spending $2,000 on a gaming PC that comes with the RTX 3060, which is not the greatest GPU that you can get for the price, so I'll explain how to fix it in a second. But before explaining that, I want to say that it has an 800 watts 80 plus volt power supply, and also the case is much bigger and you get 3 fans in the front, and in the previous Omen PCs you usually get 2 fans or even 1 fan in the 30L, and that's a huge improvement for HP for future upgrades. So this PC, it's an OEM system but it's upgradable as well, so you can do as many upgrades as you want in the future. And now I'll explain how to make this PC and actually worth for the price gaming desktop, because I think the RTX 3060, it's a good GPU of course, but it's not going to get the job done for $2,000, and if you're searching to play games at 1440p at least, then you will need a better GPU. Now if you're going to play on a 1080p monitor, then you don't have to upgrade the GPU, because any GPU will get the job done for 1080p gaming, even at ultra settings. Any single game more than 60 FPS average, and for those competitive games it's going to average more than 240 FPS, so don't worry about 1080p. Take this advice if you're going to play with at least a 1440p gaming monitor. So for this, you will click on customize and buy, go to the GPU section and change it to the RTX 3060 Ti, which I think is the best one here for the price. Of course you can go with a 3070 if you want, but I think the 3060 Ti is going to be way more than enough for your needs, but again adjust it to your budget. And then I would change the SSD to 1TB of SSD. Now don't change it from the website, I will leave a link down below where you can get 1TB of SSD for $80 and you end up saving $20, and you also get the 500 gigs. So you keep the 500 gigs, you add an extra terabyte of SSD, so the total will be a terabyte and a half of SSD for $80, where on the HP website you change the SSD to 1TB for $100, but you don't keep the first 500 gigabytes of SSD. So keep that in mind. You will have the link to that SSD down below in the description, but if you think that is too expensive and it goes above your budget, then go with 1TB of hard drive, which I don't recommend doing this because it's slower, but of course it's up to you. And now I'll compare it to the Omen 40L, which is the last generation of Omen, and tell you why the 45L customized is actually better than this PC, which is interesting because both are really similar. Here on this 40L for $2,150 you get the i7-12700K as well, but I don't think you get an actually liquid cooler for the CPU, which that is pretty bad. Now it doesn't specify, and that's why I say it. Maybe it comes with one, but I don't see it on the specifications, so that is something that's bad. You also get the RTX 3070, which is a little bit better than the 3060 Ti, but believe me, you're not going to notice any differences at gaming. Even with a 1440p monitor, it's not like you're going to notice a difference on the gameplay. Believe me that it will be the same for your eyes. Now this GPU is a LHR GPU. This means that it's not for mining, and this is pretty good actually in my opinion, because these PCs are not going to get out of stock that fast, because miners are not going to be able to do GPU mining with this PC, so that's a positive. You also get the same 16 gigs of RAM, 1TB of hard drive and 500 gigs of SSD, where on the other PC you get better airflow, a better CPU cooler and better storage. So keep that in mind. I think the 45L is going to be a better option because of the airflow, and it's going to be more upgradable than this one. So overall the 45L is a better option. Now you can go with this 40L because it has the RTX 3070 instead of the 3060 Ti, but you're going to be losing on a lot of thermal performance, so I think the 45L is the best option option for you if you're thinking of buying this 40L, and it's going to be only $30 more expensive than this 40L. Now there's another 45L that comes with the Ryzen 7 5800X, and you can upgrade the GPU to the RTX 3060 Ti for $90, and the total price would be $1,989 for a PC with a 3060 Ti and the Ryzen 7 5800X, but I don't recommend you doing this because it doesn't come with a liquid cooler for the CPU. Now, like I said before, you can upgrade it by yourself. I will leave as well a liquid cooler down below in the description for this type of CPUs, but at the end you are going to spend almost the same money for a gaming PC with the Ryzen 7 instead of the i7-12700K, which is the newest CPU of Intel's generation, and it's actually better than the Ryzen 7 5800X for both multitasking and gaming. And I think the i7, it's a balance between the i9 and the i5 because you get both multitasking and gaming on one CPU. So I think you should go with that Omen 45L that I've mentioned before. I think it's the best option, and I think HP improved a lot on these PCs, and it's actually the best HP gaming desktop so far. So if you have between $2,000 and $2,200, I would definitely buy this gaming desktop. It's going to be great for performance, and the airflow improved a lot. Same goes with the future upgradability. So that was my whole short review about this gaming desktop and why you should buy it if you customize it. If you don't, you leave it with the 3060, then I don't think it's worth the buy unless you have a 1080p gaming monitor and you're not thinking of upgrading this gaming monitor to at least a 1440p 144Hz option, because it makes literally no sense buying a gaming desktop that is capable of running at 1440p 144Hz and you're losing on this performance quality because you have a 1080p monitor. If you have a 1080p monitor, it's great, but you can literally save money by buying a cheaper gaming desktop. And if you have a tight budget, I also have a video about the best budget gaming desktops of the month. I've made one for every type of budget, and I've made one for budget PCs. You will have it as well in the top right of the screen. And if you found this video helpful, leave a like and subscribe. But like I said before, most importantly, hit the bell button so you get notified when I upload this type of content, which I do from 3 to 5 times a week. So thank you guys for watching, thank you for the support, and I will see you on the next one.